Alright, so I guess this is everything I have in a sort of uncut form. I'm doing some rearranging of this collection. This is all my monster movies slash horror films. Mostly here it's monster movies and mostly here is horror films. So let me set everything back up and you can see what it looks like there. And we move away from the obvious forefront here. We're going to go over to the side here. This is the horror movie collection. This is one of my personal favorite sections of my entire DVD collection. On the first shelf here we have the 4 Slasher King setup here and The Exorcist. So right here I have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. We have the most recent edition Texas Chainsaw up here because I ran out of room. And here of course we have the Michael Myers Halloween collection, all 10 movies. And then to the left of it we have the Friday the 13th series, the Jason Voorhees movies. You may notice that I'm missing Freddy vs. Jason, but that's because it's in this set right here, which is part of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So I've got the 9 movies, including the remake. And of course, like I said, I have The Exorcist, which is the version you've never seen up here. Now the lower shelf is miscellaneous mostly. And you may notice that I don't really have a clear sorting for my movies. Usually people sort them alphabetically, however I kind of just do my own thing. I always like to sort them by genre and by series. So here we have the Alien Predator series. So I have the Alien Blu-ray collection right here, the Alien Anthology, the Predator triple feature DVD set, the 2 AVP movies, and Prometheus. And I also like to set it up by release date also. And here we have American Werewolf in London on Blu-ray, and then we have a bunch of other stuff. So we have The Mist, Stephen King's It, Jeepers Creepers, Trick or Treat, It Follows, The Conjuring, Insidious, The Burning, Gremlins. On top here I have The Shining and The Fog. We have The Final Girls, we have the Scream series, we have the 2 My Bloody Valentine movies, we have the 2011 Thing and the 1982 The Thing, which is my all-time favorite horror film. And then back there it's kind of obscured by the dark, you can't really see those, but I have the Evil Dead series, so the original, the sequel, Army of Darkness, and the remake. So this is my horror setup, and I really like having this here, but unfortunately I am running out of room for a lot of this stuff, so maybe only have room for about 1 more Blu-ray, so we'll see at some point if this layout has to change. And on the other side we have my monster movie setup. I've already shown some of this in previous videos or 2, but just to give you another look here, I've shown this before. We have the entire Godzilla series, so from 2014 to 1954, and then the 98 stuff here at the bottom, because I don't really consider it part of the main series, but I included just for namesake. And then of course the animated series at the bottom. But I have shown this before. This is another crown jewel section of my collection. And then over here we have just the cases for the Godzilla Classic Media set there, and then the Gamera Trilogy Blu-ray set, which I'll get to in a second here. Down there we have one of those cheap science fiction movie classics. So there's some monster movies, there's some really horrible movies in there, so yeah, those are kind of fun. Mostly public domain. And then over here we have my other monster movies, miscellaneous monster movies. So we have stuff like Pacific Rim, Gorgo, Yongary, Daimajin, the Gamera series, as I mentioned before. I have the Heisei trilogy on Blu-ray, but I also have it on DVD in the 11 Gamera Legacy pack set up by Bill Creek. Still missing Gamera the Brave though. And then there's a public domain release of the American versions of 2 Gamera movies. The original Ultraman series, Rebirth of Mothra 1 and 2 on DVD, and then the entire trilogy on Blu-ray. Rodan, War of the Gargantuas, Vera and the Unbelievable, The Giant Behemoth, Creature from the Black Lagoon. This sci-fi creature pack is one of my favorites, because it's got Mothra, the original, on it, the English dub, which is fine. The Giant Claw, which is a hilarious movie, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and It Came from Beneath the Sea. So this is one of my favorite packs, and it's really cheap. This one right here doesn't really belong. It's the Disaster collection of 5 movies. I've only watched 1 movie on here so far, but I kind of just put it here because it sort of fits that cruddy public domain movie setup kind of thing here. And here we have another 4-pack, but this is a bit different. It's got Reptilicus, and that's the only one I've seen on there, but I'll have to watch some of these at some point. And then we've got The Monster That Challenged the World, and it's The Terror from Beyond Space. This one was basically the predecessor to the original Alien. And then we have some really good monster movies here. We have The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and Them, both great monster movies. We have Cloverfield, which in my opinion is really underrated. I really like this movie a lot. And I also really liked 10 Cloverfield Lane, so we'll have to get that on this shelf soon. We have District 9, and then we have the Monsters Dark Continent, and then Monsters, which are just kind of there for namesakes, because this one doesn't have as much monsters in it. Neither of them have very many monsters in it, but it sort of counts. And then we have King Kong movies. I have the original 1933 King Kong, and then I have King Kong Escapes, which is a Toho movie, really funny movie. I have the really bad 70s King Kong remake, where it climbs the World Trade Center, and then I have the much better 2005 2-disc version. I am still missing some monster movies from this set. I've had to move some my monster movies around and in the upstairs closet of movies, just because I run out of room for things, and I feel like I take the things that least belong and have to move them around. So there's a few things that are missing, like Jaws, and I have Jaws 1 and 2, those are upstairs. I also have the Jurassic Park series, including Jurassic World, that's all upstairs. But yeah, I hope this gives a little bit more insight on how many movies I actually own, because this setup here, or these setups, are not really half of what I own. A lot of the majority of it is upstairs, but these are my favorite setups, and I really enjoy showing these off and displaying them in such a way that they can be seen. And I still haven't seen everything that I own yet, and I always keep getting more movies, so hopefully I can catch up to myself before I get anything new this time. This is Gisela 2010 signing off.